Day 2 of the NFL Draft is almost in the books, and the Chiefs are done for the day. So we're going to go ahead and hand out some Chiefs draft grades for Day 2. They made 2 picks today and traded up for both of those picks. We're going to tell you who the picks are to start the show, and then we'll go player by player, and I'll give a grade for each player as well. Rashee Rice, the wide receiver out of SMU, they traded up from 63 to 55 to go ahead and land him. And then they also, this is the trade, and then we'll show who the next player is, then we'll talk more about Rice. This was the trade to go up and get Rashee Rice. They traded up from 63 to 55, gave up 122 and 249 as well. Chiefs got back 55 and 194. I think pretty good value here to go up and get a player of Rice's caliber. We'll talk about him, hand out a grade in a second. But then they also went up and traded up for Wanya Morris, the offensive tackle out of Oklahoma. They traded 95 and 217 to get 92. So give up the last pick in the 6th round to move up 3 spots and go get a tackle that you like. So those are the 2 players that the Chiefs got today, and we've said throughout the pre-draft process, trading up, you don't need to pick 10 players to get players you like. Makes a lot of sense. So SMU, Rashee Rice, he goes to Kansas City at 55 overall. Tom Downey wasn't super high on him, but he and I disagree. I like Rashee Rice a lot. After the college football season, he was getting round 1 buzz just for how huge of a year he had for SMU. Now, he didn't have a great Senior Bowl, but I think for Kansas City, he's got some size, just under 6'1", over 200 pounds. I think middle of the 2nd round, late 2nd round, this is certainly good value here. Good body control. I like that quite a bit. When the ball's in the air, he doesn't freak out. He times his jumps well. He's able to make plays. Good blocker in the running game, which is nice to see as well. You don't always see that with the young receivers. There is some acceleration concerns, agility. You know, he's a guy that he's not always going to get elite separation. So with Patrick Mahomes, you might have to take a little bit more time to build that chemistry, some back shoulders, some high balls where he goes up and gets it. But I think Rashee Rice is a very talented player. Marshall Green, one of our hosts here at Chat Sports, I thought he had an interesting comp. He's like a poor man's CeeDee Lamb. I don't think he's quite got the burst of a Ram, but he's a little thicker, and he's a guy who can get it. How about this as a comp? Poor man's Dez Bryant is kind of what I see when I watch Rashee Rice, a guy who can do just good enough after the catch and someone who in one-on-one situations is going to win those battles more often than not. I like getting a guy who can win those physical matchups. The Chiefs haven't always had those type of receivers. It's usually been undersized, speedy guys, which obviously has worked very well also, but you get a more physical possession receiver here to give you a different look. I like Rashee Rice. I told you guys they were going to draft a receiver today, and they absolutely did. Grade the pick of Rashee Rice to Kansas City at 55 overall. Again, Downey's grade or ranking of him is lower than mine, but I like him quite a bit. So I'm going to give this a good grade. I'm even going to give it an A grade. Maybe this is me drinking the Kool-Aid a little too much, but you needed a receiver. You got one with physical traits that you like, body control. The production he had at SMU was just truly remarkable this past season for the Mustangs. 1,355 yards on 96 catches, 10 touchdowns, an average of over 14 yards a catch. I watched him play a couple of times in person because he played just down the road here in Dallas, and just a terrific player. He really is. I'm excited to see what he can do at the NFL level. Dane Brugler had this to say: Rice must prove that he has NFL-level consistency in all areas to compensate for his average speed, but he's a ball winner with natural instincts after the catch. He can be a quality contributor early in his NFL career. And I think he comes in and he is right in the mix in their rotation with guys like Sky Moore and Justin Watson and MVS. I wouldn't put him up there with Kadarius Toney or anything like that at this point, but he's going to give you a different look offensively, and I think that's very exciting. I'm giving it an A grade. What say you? Subscribe to the channel for the best NFL draft coverage here on YouTube. Analysis of every draft pick. We'll get to Wanya Morris here in a second. We've got you covered. Grades at the end of each day as well. Hit that sub button. It's youtube.com/ChiefsTV. We'll have some day 3 draft coverage as well. Don't forget to miss it. All right, Wanya Morris, round 3, pick number 92, 6'5" and 3/8, 307 pounds. good athlete at right tackle. What did I tell you guys before the NFL draft? The Chiefs will probably bring in a tackle to compete with Lucas Niang, and I think that's the pick here. Again, downing low on Morris as well, but I thought he'd be a third, fourth round guy, and that's right where he falls late in the third round. Former five-star recruit who has had flashes, I will admit, not super consistent, but I think if he gets some NFL coaching, he has starting potential. Some off-field concerns, but we know that Andy Reid's been willing to take chances in the past as well, and usually that's worked out for his teams. Now, I wouldn't say right away he's a huge threat to unseat Lucas Niang, but I think he can come in, be a swing tackle. The athletic traits are there, and if he reaches his potential, he could be your future starting right tackle. I definitely think that's a possibility. I'll go B grade. I don't think it was necessary to trade up from 95 to 92. That being said, giving up 217 is not a big deal for this team. Like, you don't need 10 draft picks, like I said, so moving up is perfectly fine. B grade, I think he would have been there at 95. You could have even maybe traded down a few spots, but again, you don't have to. You don't need that many picks if you're the Chiefs, so B grade overall. Dane Brugler has this to say about Morris. He says he has starting talent with his frame, length, and athletic traits, but he looks like a completely different player when his leverage and technique fall apart. If he learns to become more fundamentally sound, he can lock down a swing tackle role in the NFL and eventually become a starter. And that's kind of what I'm thinking here, and I think that's probably what the Chiefs are kind of thinking here. Come in, compete, probably be a swing tackle early on, and then down the road, hopefully become a starting level tackle. You obviously lost Orlando Brown. You brought in Jawan Taylor. You lost Andrew Wiley. You've got Lucas Niang. Now you bring in Wanya Morris. Where does Darian Kennard fit into the mix? So you've got different options on your offensive line, some depth there. At worst, he's depth. Hell, at best, maybe he wins the starting right tackle job. Who knows? That would surprise me early on. I think Niang is the favorite to do that, but bringing in competition is smart. Niang has not really played in a year and a half after that torn pec in 2021, so to bring somebody in made a ton of sense. Up to this point in the draft, I'm going to give the Chiefs an A-. Felix Anudike-Uzomah, I gave a solid B grade. I thought it was a good pick. Wanya Morris is a B. A for Rashee Rice. I think A-, B+. It's kind of where you sit. Brett Veach deserves the benefit of the doubt. He's been doing this for a long time, and he's a proven roster builder, and he's a proven draft guy as well. Obviously, he's had some misses, but he's certainly connected on plenty of picks over the years. That is where the Chiefs sit right now, with Felix Anudike-Uzomah at 31 overall in round 1. Trade up for Rashee Rice at 55 overall in round 2, and then Wanya Morris, the selection here in round 3, as the Chiefs get ready for day 3 of the NFL draft. Just a quick look at some of the top players available tomorrow, and then we'll get out of here. Clark Phillips III, I think adding a corner could be in store tomorrow. Keely Ringo, as we said, there's a couple of picks left here in the third round as we're filming this, so it's possible a couple of these guys aren't there, but a lot of them will be. Dawan Jones, I think he's out of play now that you took Wanya Morris. Adetomo Adebawore, he'd be an interesting player. Not sure why he's been sliding. Tyler Scott, receiver out of Cincinnati, if you want to take another wideout. Antonio Johnson, Texas A&M safety. Darius Rush, I think, would be interesting. I think drafting a corner tomorrow will probably be in store for Kansas City. Siaki Ika, I would love that tomorrow. Get a bulldozer at defensive tackle on day 3. I would be in. A.T. Perry, Jacorian Bennett. Corey Trice has fun traits at 6'3", 206. Israel Abanikanda, by the way, Corey Trice, our coworker Jack Sperry, big fan of his game. Go ahead and ask him about his film work on Trice. But those are some of the top guys that are available heading into day 3. Again, couple picks left as we film this in the third round, but a lot of these guys will be available. Who do you want the Chiefs to draft next? Let me know down in the comment section below. Who would you like to see? And by the way, as we're filming, Siaki Ika just got selected, so don't shoot the messenger. That's just how we go. Don't type Siaki Ika of who you want to draft next, because he just went to the Cleveland Browns, but type another name. All right, that's going to do it. I'm Harrison Graham. Hit that subscribe button. We've got you covered here on the Chiefs Report. More coverage tomorrow during the NFL Draft.